Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the S10 on TV podcast for Supernatural, Season 10, Episode 13, Halt and Catch Fire. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me...
I tried to keep it together, and I failed.
Dom's still trying. Joining me are Clio.
I'm fine.
Hi.
And Dom. So what'd you guys think of this episode?
It was nice going back to ghosts.
It's been a while.
Ghosts.
It has been a while.
To ghosts.
To ghosts. Yeah, no, it's been a while. And once again, it's been done very differently than it's been done in the past. So every time that we've seen Ghost recently has been extremely different and unique.
Yeah, I guess probably because how many seasons of Ghosts being the same thing gets stale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
It comes down to find the body, salt the bones, find any remaining items, burn them, salt them.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Well, how do you burn and salt the internet? How do you burn and salt Wi-Fi?
How do you kill the internet? Can we kill the internet?
Can we kill the internet?
Spoiler alert, you can't.
How do you kill Wi-Fi? The Wi-Fi ghost. That was... bonus points for unique... Well, I don't know if it's a unique idea, but bonus points for doing that.
Yeah. I don't know, when the episode opened up, I just thought of that really bad movie from the 80s, the early 90s.
Maximum Overdrive.
That's all I was thinking.
Really?
Yeah. Starring a young Emilio Estevez
Huh.
and a fleet of angry cars.
Yep.
That's
Cars
just it.
come to life and kill
Yep.
people.
If you've never seen it, it's on Netflix.
Ooh.
They
good
literally...
timing.
That's how I saw it recently.
Hmm.
They literally are angry cars. There's no drivers. They're
Uh-huh.
just possessed vehicles. We don't even know if they're
What's it called?
possessed. Maximum Overdrive.
Okay.
And it is the definition of a B movie.
Mm-hmm.
It may even be a C movie. I'm not sure.
Quite even possibly a D movie. But
Watch it
yeah,
while high.
that's what I was expecting out of this episode. I'm very glad it didn't go that way.
I'm very glad it didn't go that way either.
I would have liked a reference to Maximum Overdrive though.
That would have been fun.
If there were
I mean,
actual cars killing people.
There was the one in the beginning.
Yeah. I guess.
I got a very I know what you did last summer vibe from it.
I
Yeah.
did too. Like, oh my god, we just totally killed that guy. Let's get out of here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Except instead of being drunk while driving, they were texting and driving.
I mean, and also the 180 girl, the one that died at her computer. It basically said, "I know what you did," or something like that.
Well, yeah, it said, I know what you did.
Yeah, so it definitely felt like a very I know what you did last summer kind of vibe.
Dean
And I
had to-
still know what you did last summer, and I might even still remember what you did 2 summers ago.
Dean had perfect moments to reference all of that, but he didn't.
I think they've done that before, though.
Probably.
Didn't they do a I know what you did last summer type episode?
I think also Dean's not in a mindset to make those kinds of I mean, he made the Christine reference, but
Wasn't there an episode with the fisherman with the hook man? I thought there was a whole hook.
There was a Hookman episode. No, that wasn't a
That was in
fisherman.
season 1, wasn't it?
Or 2. It was early. No, that was a priest. The Hookman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was the prayer beads and everything.
But that was...
It was basically the villain from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Basically, it was a hook, as a weapon. Using a hook as a weapon. So, there's a very, very minimized collateral damage kind of ghost. Actually tells the girlfriend to get the hell out of the car before driving it off a bridge.
I was surprised. He
Yeah,
really
didn't
went
wanna-
out of his way to make sure he didn't kill the girl too.
Yeah, he didn't want to hurt
She
innocent
wasn't
people.
guilty. Yeah.
which is rare because most of these vengeful spirits don't just give it. They just don't give a damn.
I mean, I think also that was the first victim, so he had only like just started to go crazy.
true. So as I say, even
There's
Bobby
no-
went off the deep end eventually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very considerate, Mr. Ghost. Tegost.
Tegost.
Yeah. So,
Hashtag Tegost.
happened at a college. These were college kids being killed. I don't know what college it was, but Dean fell in love with their cafeteria.
Somewhere in Iowa, right?
Yeah, maybe. Slightly nicer version of the cafeteria I had at college, but same thing. More food than you knew what to do with. And,
Yeah, my cafeteria at college sucked. It sucked ass. It was the worst.
we were treated to just above McDonald's quality level of food, but it was plentiful and there was a variety every day. So, can't
I
complain.
never even went to my
No, I
college
also went to
campus's cafeteria. I always ate on the way there.
I dormed. I had no choice.
Yeah,
I went to a city college and I dormed, and there wasn't a meal plan.
Well, see, I dormed.
It's bad.
We were we were in Hoboken. We were really, really close to like the main street there with tons of food.
Yeah.
But there was also a meal plan, which was accepted at most of those restaurants, which was awesome.
That's fuck
Well,
college.
yeah, it's more complicated than that, but I got fat. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, Dean was eating the food like he suffered a stroke.
The noodles were hanging out of his mouth. I was like, Dean, did you forget how to eat?
Nah.
He looks up like, oh, just noodles
His noodles hanging out of his mouth.
over his face.
I laughed really hard when he goes, "Let me see if I can get this to go."
Let me see if I can get this to go.
It's called you stuff whatever you can get in your pockets.
Just carry the tray out.
They're very anal about those trays. At least they were at my school. You could leave there with anything. They even had, to-go containers for
Really?
your food. But if you took a tray out of that cafeteria, it was like you were stealing gold from Fort Knox. I don't know why. They would chase you down for those trays. But, I couldn't. Dean just kept looking at every college girl who passed by him. And all I'm thinking is, Dean, you're almost 40.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, come on, man. What the hell? But that was my own gripe with that.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, he even makes a Generation X comment. Because it's a Generation X thing.
Yeah, it was funny watching him face off against a millennial. It's like, oh goodness.
Yeah, huh? Oh, God.
It's
That's totally
truly
going to go
a
up.
battle of wits.
A battle of wits. And some days Dean doesn't have them.
I liked all the little hidden pop culture references that they had in it, like Princess Elsa 8.
Yeah, Princess
Oh my god.
Princess Elsa 8 is a 9-year-old in Wisconsin.
Yeah, third grader.
A third grader in Wisconsin who's obsessed with Frozen.
You want to know what I thought when I read Princess Elsa?
Huh.
Excuse me, she's a queen.
I didn't even think about that. Excuse me, she's a queen.
Then Sam was looking through the girl's Facebook, and he said there's nothing but posts on Rush and 50 Shades of Grey, the movie, not the book.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get anything you just said.
I was sure, because in my head I was like, Rush, she likes the band Rush, and I was so surprised Dean didn't say anything about
That's
the band Rush.
Right?
Dean would appreciate Rush, I thought.
Huh?
I would have thought Dean would appreciate Rush, or at least
Yeah.
know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
I think the 50
Because
Shades of Grey
my
thing
brain
got
was
him.
like, 'cause there weren't really sororities in my school, so I don't know it, or I wouldn't immediately make the connection to a sorority thing.
Right.
My brain went, oh, the band?
Yeah, mine did too. I had the trees pop into my head and started
Geddy
playing,
Lee.
you know?
Why? Did it mean something different?
sorority rush.
Yeah. Rush is for a sorority or fraternity to, like, what, to get in or to... I don't actually know what it is.
I
just
had
know
sororities and fraternities at my college, and I still don't get that.
Oh. I guess, apparently it's a thing.
All right.
Anyway.
But I just love because 50 Shades of Grey comes out this weekend, that they were able to sneak in, you know, the movie reference right on schedule with the release. It coincided very nicely.
It did coincide very nicely, and of course they planned that very well.
Are they getting like 50 Shades of Grey money or something?
No, it's just I like the fact that they're keeping up with the pop culture.
Yeah.
Even with the fact that you got to remember that these are filmed months in advance, and to be able to time that to know this episode is going to air and this is what's happening the weekend it airs, so let's write this in that far in advance. It's just that style writing, I really appreciate that.
I do appreciate that, and
even though I can care less about the movie 50 Shades of Grey, but just keeping up with the pop culture 6 months in advance is just great.
If a movie could be burned, it'd be that one.
Technically, it can be.
I'm sure there are much worse movies.
I will let Twilight off the hook if I can burn 50 Shades of Grey.
Whoa, I would rather watch 50 Shades of Grey than Twilight.
Unfortunately,
I would rather watch Twilight because I can laugh at Twilight because Twilight's hilarious.
I've seen a Twilight.
Really funny.
I've seen a Twilight in the theaters.
I'm so sorry.
Did you read Twilight?
No, never read it. Never sat through... I only sat fully through one movie, but that's because I had no choice. I was stuck in the theater between my wife and my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that for the 90-minute runtime, I spent 70 of them contemplating the many different ways I could end my life sitting in that theater chair.
Were you sitting in that theater chair eating Krosukis?
No. No, Dom.
I want a Krosuki.
Okay. It's a cookie and a, what was it?
They never really said.
Yeah, you're right.
Dean's response was just, it's the new cronut.
It's the new cronut.
What's a cronut?
A cronut's a croissant donut.
Yeah, so
I guess it's
I'm gonna assume that it's a croissant cookie, yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It looked like a croissant with an Oreo cookie sitting in the middle. That's what Dean was eating, what it looked like to me. So
to me, it looked like a Danish.
I have no idea what the hell it was. If he said a croissant, yeah, he did say that. It was a croissant cookie.
I guess that's weird.
Oh.
Anyway,
pop culture, up to date. We appreciate it. We like it. So the dying teens, the 3 of them that were dead so far, they were kind of irredeemable. I mean, they caused a car accident, which, you know, led to a guy dying pretty horribly, and they just left him there. Like, they didn't even, before he was dead and electrocuted by the falling wire, they didn't even contemplate getting out to help.
No,
not at all. I mean, this is where it became even worse than I Know What You Did Last Summer, because at least I Know What You Did Last Summer, they tried to kill the guy more, and then tried to hide the body, and then when he was still, like, struggling to come to life, they, like, killed him again. And he still wasn't dead, but at least they attempted to put him out of his misery. This one, the guy is, like, bleeding out, he's got glass in his face, he's, like, whimpering, you know, leaning on the steering wheel, and then the telephone wire comes down, and they're just like, oh, power line, let's let him roast. See you later. Let's not even call anybody.
Nope, we're just not going to call anybody. You know, oh, yeah, my license is suspended. If they find out I was driving, I'm screwed. Like, and only one of them objected.
Yeah.
Ironically, she was the last to go.
Ironically, she was the last to go, but still, she was to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. How did they die? One was strangled by the charging cable for her laptop.
Yep.
One... How did the first... Oh, yeah, one was...
That was pretty gruesome, though. It's like, I
Yeah.
have neck pain all the time, and watching someone get choked like that, it's like, oh, no.
Ow.
See, and that one was very reminiscent to the scene in Final Destination where the kid in the bathroom gets tangled on the clothes wire. Was it a clothes wire? I don't know what kind of wire. I don't know why there was a steel cable in the bathroom.
Yeah, that one got me. I don't know what the hell the steel cable was to. I don't remember.
Was it a hotel?
No, it was his own bathroom.
I don't know if it was a steel cable. It looked like a steel cable.
Hotels have those wires you can hang your towels on.
Maybe it was one of them.
Steel wires.
I don't know.
Pull out.
Yeah. Well, because I remember the kid was grabbing for scissors.
Yeah, he was.
So I don't think he could cut a steel cable. Whatever. It's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but that was one of the deaths, and then, you know, the kid gets driven off the bridge. And then the third one, death by decibel. Thank you, Clio. That was a good one. Death by decibel.
That's what they said in the episode.
Yeah, how does that even...
A decibel. I don't know.
Is that possible? Like... I mean, is that plausible? Yes. Dying to, you know, exposure to extremely loud sounds is completely possible, and people have died to that before.
But not at the level that a speaker system like that could produce.
Yeah, I mean...
Also...
There's about a half a dozen, maybe more ways that exposure to sound, even of speakers like that, if, you know, the kid had a heart condition, it could have killed him. But
not in that way. It was like his brain melted inside.
His eyeballs exploded and he was bleeding out of his ear. Yeah, bleeding out of your ears I can understand. But yeah. I can't imagine his eyes exploding.
No.
Yeah, but there's been too many eye stuff this week.
And it would have damaged...
It would have had to have been a certain pitch and frequency. It wouldn't have, like, for those speakers to do it. I'm sure those speakers could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to the gruesome extent that they did, but not from playing a rock song like that. It would have to be like a very high-pitched frequency.
And by sheer, percussive force, it would have damaged the room more than it did.
Yeah, and, like, the kid outside that was banging on the door, like, when we cut outside, it was like you could hardly hear the music. Like, it was loud, but, you know.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, even though it is a frat house, it's an actual house, no, the individual bedrooms aren't soundproof.
Kid is in a towel.
Well.
He just walked out of the shower and he's like, I'm trying to study? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that was a frat house. I think
it
was just a dorm. Regular dorm.
Okay, maybe. I'm not sure.
Because the two girls were in a sorority house.
Mm-hmm.
And that hallway looked like, there were, 20 people on floor.
Yeah. Sigma Theta Delta. STD.
STD. All right, he was in a fraternity.
Yeah.
I love the comment. It was like, I'm at STD. It was like, we're using a condom.
So we're using a condom then. Oh,
Ew.
I'm clean.
No, that's gross.
Yeah, that's gross. I'm clean, but I'm hoping you can get dirty.
That's also gross. I love the fucking fake Tinder.
Sexter.
Yeah,
Sexter.
Sexter.
I like the fake applications they were using, like Tinder and was the Google Maps. That was the fake Google Maps.
Yeah, and then there was another one. It was it wasn't InstaChat.
Yeah.
Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah.
There was also something interesting too. I noticed is I don't know if this was the first time, but this is the first time I've noticed it. We actually got to see Sam's cell phone number.
Oh, did we?
Oh, really?
So I wish I had my cell phone here because I would totally call it right now. But it was 785 area code 555-0197. So I don't know if that's a real phone number or because sometimes when TV shows and stuff do that, they set up fake phone numbers.
Yeah.
So
wow, you know what? They were right on the... Where's the Men of Letters hideout? Northern Kansas.
Yeah,
oh,
is
that's
that
funny.
785 is North Kansas.
That is funny.
Well played, guys in the... See, this is my problem with Hollywood movies. Supernatural doesn't have that problem. They actually give a kid 50 cents to Google something. Like Hollywood movies, they don't care. They'll just spout some kind of bullshit like, oh yeah, his face is melting because his ass is on fire. Is that scientifically accurate? Who gives a shit? It sounds funny. 25 cents. Google. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's just, once again, the attention to detail. I love it.
Yeah. thank you for noticing that, because I respect the show's writers more so now than I already did.
Yep.
So, our bit of story, because this was another filler episode, but our bit of story at the end of it, Dean wants to give up on removing the mark. And basically what he wants to do instead is just ignore it. Like, do his
He
thing.
wants to live his life, yeah.
That's gonna work, though. Ignoring it, right?
Yeah, well, he
It
ignored it
worked for Cain.
He said he wants to ignore it for as long as he can. What he likes doing is, helping people, going out on these jobs, and maybe that's giving him some semblance of control.
Yeah,
Or not.
Saving people, hunting things.
What he
the
doesn't
family
realize
business.
is...
Go on.
No.
What he doesn't realize is...
He has to work towards controlling it, and just ignoring it. One day he's just going to snap, and there'll be a room full of dead people again.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm curious as to how he's going to get rid of that. Hopefully we find out next episode.
I think we will.
Next episode, The Executioner's Song. The Return of Cain. Damn and Sean.
Damn it, Sean.
Because I'm dyslexic tonight. Dean and Sam and Castiel deal with Cain's return. Crowley and Rowena continue to grow closer, but when Crowley bails on plans with his mother to help the Winchesters, Rowena lets him have it.
Rowley and Crowena.
SpaghettiOs.
Rowley and Crowena, yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that, but I could have.
You could
It
have.
would have been funnier.
So, from the end of... I saw 2 promos for this. It was the one you get, like, the preview at the end of the episode, and then I saw a 2-minute extended one. What I got from these... The one you see at the end of the episode, Dean's coming at Cain with the first blade, and Cain's just like, get the fuck out of here, throwing him around the place. And then Cain gets his hands on it, and he's looking like, he just unlocked the source of his power again, or some shit like that. And then the other one, Cass is investigating things, and he finds, he's like, Cain's been busy, and then it shows him he's in the middle of a clearing in the woods, and there's hastily, shallow graves, just burial mounds all over the place, at least 100 people. And then Cain just shows up like, "Hi, Castiel, how you doing?" Still with his crazy hairdo and beard from Gallivant. But No, really, the hair's the same. The flip and everything.
Yeah, I mean, Cain's hair was starting to get long when we saw him, so it looks like,
Now it's fabulous.
Continued to get grown out, yeah.
But, I'm just curious, is Cain able to still use the blade, mark or not?
Well, okay. Did Cain actually lose the mark when he gave it to Dean? Because I don't remember it
transferred it.
He transferred the mark.
Yeah, but I don't remember it disappearing off his arm. You know what I mean?
Oh, it did. I remember seeing that happen.
No, it burned out in a bright light or something.
Okay.
So
it traveled down his arm into Dean's arm, and then it rewrote itself on Dean's arm.
No, but here's my question. It's the mark of Cain, right? That's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he's Cain, does he even need the mark to make full use of the first blade?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've discussed... I remember a discussion about this a couple weeks ago.
I think we're going to find out next week.
Yeah. I mean, definitely going to find out. I'm curious how this is going to go.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've updated it. I haven't seen, Cain as a recurring guest in any upcoming episodes, so that could be bad for him.
I would just
I don't know, but they don't. They're hiding the synopses from episodes past.
Yeah.
Next week's, so I'm guessing something major happens that they don't want you to know what the synopsis for the next couple episodes.
That's good. This is a full story episode we're finally getting, and it's been a long time coming.
We've needed one.
We do need one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, these are fillers, but they have been catalysts for a lot of their attitude changes and their feelings and stuff.
mm-hmm.
But too many fillers and you ruin the flow.
Yeah, no, I like.
I think one
so
more would have
I
been
think-
a bit too much.
I think this was less of a filler than the other ones had been.
Yeah.
And even so, what was it? Last week? Which
I think
one?
the last plot episode we had was the one.
What was
with
last
Meta-
week's episode?
Last
The-
week,
Was that
Young
Oz?
Young Dean.
Young
Oh, no,
Dean.
Young Dean, you're right.
Young Dean was last week.
And I felt that was actually fairly progressing the story too, because it gave Dean like the choice of whether he wanted to remain a kid and like relive his life, and he chose. It showed Dean's strength of character. You know, that he chose to go back to his life and deal with the mark instead of like taking the easy route out of it and just starting over from scratch and getting a second chance at life. You know, so I feel that those were less filler episodes than like the Oz episode was.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Maybe, yeah.
so
Yeah.
I feel like they did, even though it wasn't the main story of what we don't even have like an overarching villain. Like we have Rowena, but they're not aware of her, and she hasn't been actively doing anything but sitting with Crowley yet. So there is no reason for them to be doing anything other than these little side missions right now. So as far as I'm concerned, they're really not filler episodes. The Oz one, kind of, but
Yeah.
so
But what?
Alright.
But what I mean is, the only reason they're doing these side missions is because it's been written that way. Like if they wrote, oh, the next step for the plot, then it would just go right. The plot would just continue. But they're taking a break from the plot, so that's what I mean when I say filler.
no, I understand that. I feel that they're still kind of doing the plot though, because they're searching for a way to remove the mark, and
Not this episode.
No, but it's there. It's in the background.
yeah. I mean, it's still dealt with the consequences of it, and like a lot of the actions and stuff is the realization of how all this kind of affects Dean and his choices moving forward with how he's going to handle the mark. So though it didn't directly deal with the mark itself, it still did deal with the mark. So
I
Yeah.
just meant that 3 episodes seems to be the good amount of filler, and if it's any more, then it's just I want to shoot myself in the face.
yeah.
Well, you're not going to have to shoot yourself because next week I'm excited.
Hmm.
So, did we miss anything?
Probably not.
Probably
I like the
not.
Ghostbusters reference.
Oh God, yeah.
You guys are like the Ghostbusters? Yeah.
like-
Sure.
I'm like, you know Ghostbusters and you don't know Christine?
Yeah.
What?
Way to go. That's our show, everybody. Kids don't know ghosts. Yo, kids don't know Christine. I know. Dom, where can they find you? They can't find you because... What the hell? There it is.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon. Phenomedom.
Phenomenon.
Indeed. Clio, where can they find you?
They can find me at Cleomoto on the socials, and you can find me on Twitch at the Cleomoto.
Most
Put
excellent.
the right there.
You can find me on the Twitter at Philidrin, right there. That way. Is this camera reversed from my other one? This is weird. Anyway, you can find me there. You can find all of us on Facebook, Gmail, Google+, YouTube. Dumb.
Nice.
Thank you.
I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, ASOTV podcast, all one word. You can follow us there at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week. Tariel says goodbye. Bye-bye.
MySpace.
MySpace. Ending the broadcast in